In this lecture we'll turn to a topic that is very much home territory for me, Nick Hornby's autobiography as an Arsenal fan, Fever Pitch. In due deference to our subject, you'll notice that I'm wearing my team scarf, and I sincerely hope that you can see on your computer screens more than just the first four letters of the word Arsenal. Among the materials that I put together for this class is a list of Nick Hornby's books and awards that he's received. If we look for a common thread running through his works, then we can see the examination of masculine identity as a common theme. I think it is one reason why several of his works have been adapted so successfully to films, because they resonate with so many people. I'm thinking in particular of a novel like High Fidelity, which was easily transferred from its original setting in London to Chicago for the film version with John Cusack. Or the adaptation of About a Boy with Hugh Grant. In each of these works, a male protagonist struggles to develop his self-identity beyond his obsessive hobbies and mature into a responsible adult. Obviously, this is also the case in Fever Pitch, in which Hornby measures out his own life in Arsenal fixtures and tells of his own coming of age as a man against the backdrop of his beloved team's rising and falling fortunes. Perhaps the most telling indication of how perceptive an insight into English masculine identity Fever Pitch offers comes from my own experience. When I met my wife, Ellen, who's from Kansas, we were both working as English teachers in Japan. A friend of ours, Tom, a fellow Englishman, had introduced us, and a while later he presented Ellen with a copy of Fever Pitch, saying, "You're dating an Englishman, this is what you need to know." You can imagine how horrified she was when she read the autobiography, particularly the moment when Nick Hornby is watching a 4th Division match with Cambridge United, and his girlfriend at the time faints and he carries on watching the match. I mean, that's ridiculous behaviour. It's a 4th Division match. As you read Fever Pitch, I want you to think how Hornby actually succeeds in broadening out his somewhat obsessive, soccer-centric perspective to encompass other themes. Think, for example, how he connects his sudden obsession with Arsenal to his parents' divorce and to his relationship with his father. But the book is not just a personal history, it also chronicles wider social developments in the Britain of the 70s, 80s and early 90s, as reflected in the national game. Since soccer, like all sport, has to be watched rather than read, I've posted a YouTube link to the highlights of the 1971 FA Cup final, in which Arsenal won the double, the league and cup double, for the first time. They've since won it twice under their current manager Arsene Wenger. Bear in mind that I was a month old back in 1971 at the time of this final, and the story goes that my dad declared that if I made any noise I would have to go out. I was apparently as good as gold and as quiet as a mouse, and was no doubt dreaming of my own future life as yet another Arsenal fan. Thank you.